So if you're a fan of the juniors in New Japan, then you're gonna like the bit of news that we have to round out this video. But we're gonna start with news for Edge, as Edge is has been off filming a movie or TV show. It is unclear what he is actually doing, but what we do know is Edge is expected back before us for WrestleMania season. The only question is the layout for the plans that clearly have changed, because clearly Edge is not coming back at the Rumble for a match with Finn Balor. But the initial plan had Edge coming back for a match at the Royal Rumble with Finn Balor, and then setting up for a match with Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley, a mixed tag team match. Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor versus Edge and Beth Phoenix at Elimination Chamber. My only question is, if the initial plan was for a Hell in a Cell match at the Royal Rumble and then a mixed tag team match at Elimination Chamber, why wouldn't you have the Elimination Chamber be where the Hell in a Cell match was, and then the mixed tag team match be at the Royal Rumble? Because if you're gonna have if you're gonna have a Hell in a Cell match, there is absolutely no reason why that should not be the end of the feud. And if you're gonna have the Elimination Chamber, if you're gonna have the Hell in a Cell match, why not have it at WrestleMania instead? But that's just my opinion. Clearly, again, that's not happening. Could we see Edge return and set up a match between him and Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber and then a rematch at WrestleMania? Absolutely. But could filming and the like be what is plaguing Edge's return? The movie schedule, yada yada yada. Absolutely, that is also possible, that movies and whatever Edge is off filming could be what is keeping Edge back from returning. But you would have to figure that this is not Edge's last feud, even though his contract is coming up, because a few years ago Edge signed a 3-year deal with limited dates to return to action, and well, it's 3 years later. It's been 3 years. So the only question now is, with that situation being the case, what happens next with Edge? And my answer is, the answer is, who really knows? But the reality of the situation is, I doubt you can sit here and say that Edge's last feud will be Finn Balor, because it would be hard for me to believe that he will round out his run continuing a feud that has been going for almost a year. I'm not saying I would have anything against it. I'm just saying you would figure that they would have other options that they would like to put him in the ring against before he hangs up the boots for the very last time. So maybe SummerSlam could be. But also, I just want to point out that Edge did say he wants to round out his career up in Toronto. So it did just pop into my head, to be honest with you, about that situation. So that should be taken into account when Edge will likely be hanging it up. But now, before we get to the New Japan Spectacular for the Junior Festival, we have a little bit of conversation to have about WWE 2k23, as the new showcase mode is in place with WWE 2k23, with John Cena being the featured athlete like Rey Mysterio was this year. John Cena will be the featured athlete in next year's game, with 20 years of John Cena being the featured aspect of the game, and the company leaning into the Ruthless Aggression era a little bit for that game. More information will be had on the game in the not too distant future, but the fact that with Royal Rumble holding the Royal Rumble was supposed to be the featured trailer, and also more information likely being revealed tonight for WWE 2K23, but also Cody Rhodes and Ronda Rousey will be in the game this year, as Cody returned to the company. Cody and Ronda both returned to the company last year, so they are back in the WWE games. Expansions to my GM mode, and the biggest surprise that we have is that even though War Games has been a part of WWE on the NXT level for the last couple of years, it made its debut at Survivor Series on the main roster last year. And with that being said, the debut at Survivor Series prompts WWE 2k23 to have the debut of War Games, which will be insane to actually have War Games in a WWE game. But all that more information to be announced. But pricing, pricing for the different expansions and different variations goes from $49 to over $100 for the different types of WWE's game, with the likely release date being March 17th, or in that general vicinity. I heard March 17th and March 14th, but I think the March 14th date is more for pre-order than anything else. And then we move, but we got more information, like I said, coming out tonight and at the Royal Rumble and in the coming weeks for WWE 2K23, as we don't even know most of the roster. But we do know, what we do know is John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Bad Bunny will be a part of the game in some form or fashion. But speaking of the All-Star Junior Festival announced by New Japan, it will be produced by IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi, or he is listed as a producer, and it will be aired on New Japan World, but 20 different promotions will be a part of the event, and represented will be 2AW, 666 Pro, All Japan, Big Japan, CMLL, DDT, Tradition, Dragon Gate, Ganbare Pro, Glee, Just Tap Out, Kyushi Pro, Michinoku Pro, New Japan Pro, Osaka Pro, Pancreas Mission, Pro Wrestling Basara, Pro Wrestling Freedoms, Pro Wrestling Noah, Pro Wrestling Secret Base, Pro Wrestling 01, Raikuyi Dragon Pro are all the promotions that will be a part of the All-Star Junior Festival, which will either air on New Japan World on March 1st, or will be taped for a future airing. Either way, March 1st is the date in question, and it will be at Corkin Hall, as New Japan is bringing promotions together for the All-Star Junior Festival. But with that being said, that is it for the news for today. If I can find more information, I will of course give it to you for your viewing pleasure. But with that being said, I will also include the link to this Fightful.com article about the All-Star Junior Festival 2023 in the description down below, for you to be able to feature for you to be able to look into it for yourself. But it sounds like an interesting turn of events, and New Japan trying to bring companies together. Either way, though, I will see you in the next video.